Hey, how we doing, everyone? That's right, you've caught me in a rush. I literally turned the timer on and I was like, I need to have a shower. I've been working out. I've had meetings all day, lots going on. Even though it was meant to be a day off, didn't kind of work. And then as the timer went, I was like, this is the perfect time to get ready. So I had a shower. I feel a bit refreshed. My hair's a bit like post-shower-esque. It's a bit of a mess, but that is a running theme with what we're going to be talking about today. So, this is the second week now where I was going to be doing a quiz, and I started working on it today, and I had all this other stuff going on. I was like, it's not going to happen. If we do it, it's got to be done properly. I could just give you like sheets and that, but it needs to be stuff that comes up on screen. And so then I was flustering, going, oh, what could we do? Could we do an episode on? And I thought it'd be good to take a trip down memory lane, because a couple of weeks ago I went through my YouTube channel. I've still not gone fully through it, but I started at the start, and I've been privating videos that I feel don't serve the channel anymore. Some of them are some of the most viewed videos still on the channel, but I just feel it's about, you know, what kind of audience do I want to bring now? For example, if they come for a comedy video and subscribe and then they see the Quest for Global Empathy, you know, that's not going to necessarily match well. But at the same time, it's important to leave certain things there that really, you know, showcase the journey that the channel's been on, to show my track record with things. And so, yeah, I thought today, let's take a trip down memory lane. I started YouTube in May 2006. I was 18, 19 years old. I am 34 now. It's kind of scary to think that I'm approaching a time where I'm going to have been on YouTube longer than I was living without it. But with that said, firstly, need to do housekeeping, which is always important. I just want to say hello to everyone who's tuning in. Good to see you here. Always good to see you. Holy Diver. Oh, what a tune. Peterphile. Oh, man. We will talk about that, but not... definitely something I don't regret it, but it just kind of shows you the immaturity that I used to have. And to be honest, I have the mask somewhere around here. I'd have to find it. But yeah, I hope you've had a really good week. Things have been quite busy for me. And the reason I was so flustered and had to have a shower was I was working out in virtual reality, and one of the games I play is called Creed Rise to Glory, and it's based on the Rocky movie Creed, and you can box people online. Now you end up mainly boxing kids, and you just hear them going, yeah, 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 and you're just flailing your arms. And I don't know how I feel about, you know, working out by punching the crap out of 8-year-olds or however old they are. Obviously, you get the Larry ones that go, come on then. And I was once playing a match, and I could hear the family were watching them playing, and they were going, kill him. And it just motivates you more. So, yeah, interesting how the virtual reality world trains you with these things. So, I would just like to say that down here, my Instagram, this is where I'm most active. I use Facebook usually as an echo to what is on my Instagram, and the same with Twitter. I don't really use Twitter much these days, but definitely follow me on Instagram, and follow my band on Instagram if you haven't already, because actually I'll bring it up and do a teaser here. By the way, Cheers. I've earned this. And if you're watching, say hey. Say hey in the chat. It's always good to see you. You were 15 then. Yeah, time is terrifying. And evening. Yeah, time is terrifying. Evening all. I love that. That is how life is. And by the way, I just want to say, really great episode on Monday of The Quest for Global Empathy with Jennifer White from Peter. Really cool conversation. And you know, the thing is, it's about just opening up these conversations and seeing where they go. And I was pretty strong on communicating how I've always felt about Peter, which is they come across as quite an extreme organisation about shock value. And I felt that she justified the methods they use quite well. And then there was some controversy regarding their shelter in the US, where over 80% of the animals that get taken into care in the shelter are euthanized. Funnily enough, I had a comment about it saying, oh, you know, interesting, but PETA are responsible for these kind of practices. And I assume they were referring to that. I've responded to the comment asking them to clarify. But it's one of those things where people sometimes go onto a video and then just assume that stuff hasn't been pushed. So yeah, it was a good conversation. I think Jennifer's awesome. And then yesterday I filmed a new episode of The Quest for Global Empathy. And if you follow me on social, you'll probably know who it was with, but it was with the author of The Compassionate Mind, Professor Paul Gilbert, who is the founder of the Compassionate Mind Foundation and Compassion Focused Therapy. A hero of mine. His teachings actually were taught to my therapist who introduced me to it, and it totally changed my life. And we had a 2-hour conversation, and then I was going to end with like a 10-minute guided meditation, and he did one for about half an hour. So it's a 2.5-hour episode, but really, really good. I've been really impressed with all the guests I've had on the show so far. And I'd love to know your thoughts on The Quest for Global Empathy. Have you listened to any of them? Do you watch them? Have you are there any particular guests that appealed to you? What do you make of it in the weekly format? I'm always really interested in feedback, so do let me know there. But yeah, Instagram, Schemata Theory. Here we go. So this is my band, Schemata Theory. Hey, Hannah, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Let's go full screen now. Ta-da! So, okay. Actually, I say that just as I'm about to go share screen. Here we are. So this is my band's Instagram. Let me just bring this down a bit, if I can. How do I do this? It's not letting me bring it down. If I just do, here we go. This is funny, getting it all. There we are. So yeah, Schemata Theory on Instagram. Unite with an hourglass. I'm not going to explain anything about it, but we only have one post. We basically won't see. This is what I love, is if you click it, it won't let you do it unless you log in. But then if you copy the link and then type it, it lets you see the post. There you go, a little hack there. So yeah, this is just our logo with some cool branding in the background. We are so excited for this. And you can also look at this, the story posts. Oh, you have to log in. Okay, never mind. But do follow us on Instagram. We've got some really, really big announcements that are soon, very, very soon. And it's remarkable how many years this is in the making. It's probably about 7 years in the making. And for those of you that follow me on here or tune into the Quest for Global Empathy, or have, you know, followed me from the early days, all I will say is that the values that I espouse and try and bring, whether it's about, you know, being on a quest for global empathy, about promoting unity, togetherness, compassion, this is fueling the music that Schemata Theory is going to be releasing soon. And the first piece that will be announced in the coming days. I'm so proud of it. The band is so proud of it. And yeah, Instagram. I mean, we're on Facebook. Obviously, you can follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. But I just wanted to give a big shout out to that. So, no worries, man. Yeah, it was a really good show, and we'll be playing lots more in the future. I love that everyone is already recalling some of my old videos. So I want to sort of break this into two parts, okay? One is like, how has the platform changed the past 15 years? A chance to reminisce about what YouTube used to be like, how it's changed. I'll give you one example. When YouTube first started, you didn't give videos thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you remember what you used to do? You used to give it a rating out of 5 stars. Let me find this. Here we go. Oh, there's an article on it. Oh, I hate this. I'm always like, oh, do you want to accept all? No, reject all. Always take the time to reject everything. But yeah, they changed their... Oh, the image is gone. But this was like when they actually switched it from number of stars. Here's the YouTube blog about it. Does the blog still exist? Shiva. Oh, wow. Okay. Can't find an image there. But yeah, we used to have 5-star ratings. So I would love to hear... You remember the star system. Yeah. And it just meant that videos were either 5 stars or 1 star. And it always took an average, so it always ended up sort of in the middle. I'm just reading your comments, by the way, about the podcast I've just finished up. Love the quest for empathy. You're doing well with it. Keep it up. I need to catch up. Well, that's the thing about it, is it's now every week there's going to be one there, so there's a chance that if you have one week where you can listen to a couple, they are there. Love getting the podcast weekly. Gives me something to listen to on my walks. Can't wait for next week's episode. Honestly, I can't wait for next week's episode as well. Yeah, I'm only able to do this with your support. So what I would say is, if you aren't already and have some spare change, which I know is very difficult in the current times that we're in, please do think about becoming a Patreon for the Quest for Global Empathy. There are some things I want to be able to invest in. So Matt Callan, who was on the episode 2 episodes ago, he showed me some really cool tech. It's a website where I can upload the audio from my podcasts, and it will mix them for me, because unfortunately episodes are taking me hours to edit, because I'm having to take the 2 separate audios, get the levels right, phase someone out while the other person's speaking, etc. And it's something I want to try. So there are things that are going to make my life a lot easier and change what would take a day's worth of editing into a much shorter period of time, maybe like a morning, and it just frees me up because I'm currently trying to get some new guests booked in. And something else I want to say about the Quest for Global Empathy with the guests is I am very mindful of this. I've spoken about it on episodes before, but especially when now making weekly ones, I'm very mindful of the fact that the last several guests who've been on have all been white, and my intention is to have a diverse range of guests on the show. And so I just want to say that if anyone has had that in mind, it is noted, and I've reached out from the very beginning of guests from a wide variety of backgrounds, and hopefully I'll be that diversity will start to show in the not too distant future. But I was going to say, unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. I'm very fortunate for the guests that I've had on, but the way that things are falling at the moment is all the white people are there first. So you should really bring back the beanie hat if we're going to go down memory lane. I do have it next door. I might get it while showing a video. So I want to talk about the platform of YouTube, but I also want to talk about how I've changed as well, because when I was going through my channel, and the only vector is skin color. Yeah. So when I was going down memory lane, I actually watched a few of my videos where I did ponder about what was on my mind. And I wanted to give myself a hug, because back then I was a kid. There's this idea that you're sort of an adult when you're 18, but what I've learned growing up is no, you don't really become an adult until you're in your like mid-20s. And for me, I think it's only when I'm in my 30s that I feel like I've really got a sense of who I am, which is remarkable when you consider that, you know, once upon a time, living into your 30s was very, very lucky. Not a lot of people did make it to that. So, yeah, I definitely feel a lot more in my stride now, but I've definitely gone on quite a journey. And so to kick things off, we need to go with where it all began. And when I've taught in schools about digital citizenship, and I've been in front of entire years at schools, who, you know, people that are tuned into vlogging, they watch it every day. The quality has just gone up through the roof, what you can do on your phone. I would show them this video and I would ask all the young people to note and then tell me what I could do to improve this video. And they were very blunt, which I appreciated. But yeah, we'll start with where it began. And while that happens, I'm going to get the beanie for you.
Hey everyone, my name's Myles, as a lot of you probably know, because I probably sent you a message on MSN, MySpace, what have you, telling you to check this out. On BBC News there was about this 78-year-old man who posted up a blog, video blog, to talk about things that of his interest, and I'd always considered doing this myself, and when I looked at some of the replies people gave to him and that, I then decided maybe I should, you know, use it as a tool to express myself. And for those of you who are actually interested in hearing what I've got to say, you know, you can hear so. Well, this is obviously my first intro I could tell you about myself, but I've already got one of those videos, and if you want to see it, you can go on my MySpace, which is myspace.com/blade376, and it'll be on the right hand side. One of my main things that I'm going to talk about to you about is my film, because as some of you may know, I've been doing a lot of promotion for it, and it's something very close to my heart because it does relate to things that are happening in the world at the moment, and I do want to get this film out, or the idea behind it. How could I put it before it's too late? As cheesy as that sounds, there is a seriousness to it, because as you know, it's pretty messed up at the moment and it does need to be sorted. So if you're interested in finding out about me or what.
So that's yeah, the music was way too loud. And did you notice that the music is the Quest for Global Empathy music, and the music was actually created by a guitarist in a band I was in growing up. He wrote that music when he was 16, Mark Ryan, and I always loved it. And he had this, it was a drum and bass artist, he was, called Hydrogen, and he'd done this album, and it was all very experimental. And he'd done this piece of music called The Storm, and I absolutely loved it. And I used it there, and it was just always a piece of music that really spoke to me, and so it stayed with me through and through. And obviously I use it for the Quest for Global Empathy now. But yeah, MySpace, I know, right? Yeah, the music's great. It is really good. And a lot of the things the young people said, one of them is get a haircut. And I always like bring it up as a joke. But something I learned looking back, one of the reasons I had such long hair was insecurity. I didn't like the way I looked. And so hair was a good way of covering it. And I don't want to really tread too much ground, but if you haven't seen my Quest for Empathy episode with Matt Callanan, I talk a lot about my insecurities. Like I would sort of mumble, talk out the side of my mouth. And it was because I grew up with a very loud voice, and I got punished for having a loud voice. And so I became quite insecure. And my band had always said I was quite quiet growing up, which I never thought I was. And I had MySpace hair, yeah. But then I always wore this hat, and this is the hat I wore. And I got this hat from working in France at a ski resort, and I haven't worn this in God knows how long. And it's been stretched because I wore it on a balloon. But this is the hat I used to wear in all my videos. And it obviously, I used to wear it to bed to keep my head like flat and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the hat I used to wear on my old videos. So yeah, it's a real memento. So this hat is, Yeah, 17 years old. It's remarkable to think that. The amount of times I almost lost it. It's been all over the world and everything. At the infamous haircut line, I went through something similar, hid behind my hair for years until 16, 17, somewhere around then I shaved it off and forced me to interact with people. Yeah, it's all just about the real estate, just becoming, comfortable in your own skin. So I've got some special things to show you. The mighty beanie is back. Yes, right. So you asked me for my hoodie. Now, I'm going to go in reverse order here because when I became an ambassador, actually this is when I became a fellow, I think. A fellow for YouTube Creators for Change. They've always got really good merch. And I've got this YouTube hoodie that I wear. Red I don't normally wear, but it's cool. It's a really cool hoodie. They've got really good merch. And I used to have a mug that said user generated coffee, UGC, which was awesome. But check this out. Okay, here we go. You ready? So this. Does anyone want to guess what year this is from? Have a type in the chat what year it's from. It's so comfy. I'm just waiting for everyone to type their answers of what year they think it's from. 2007. Okay. 1886. Yeah. We'll say 2007's closer, I'd say, if it was between you two. 2012? Okay, well, I'm just going to move the arm. It's a 2008. It's a 2008 hoodie. YouTube. This was the first hoodies they released. And I was very lucky to get this from Jamie Dolling, who was the UK editor at the time, and then he went into YouTube Music. But yeah, this is a 2008 original YouTube hoodie. This is the first of its kind. And that was obviously more with the logo as well. So yeah, I've got lots of cool YouTube merch. I was very lucky. I got to be among the first people to be made a partner for monetizing videos. I made lots of great friends, but I was always trying to push the boundaries of what you could do on YouTube. It could be used for education. It could be used for mental health. And as I mentioned, when I was going through my YouTube channel and deciding what to private, there were some videos that I feel, they don't serve the channel now per se. I mean, they don't get any views. But I do like... I'm glad you like the T-shirt, Kill Switch Engage, for sure. It's very, very, very faded now, unfortunately. But there was a video that was called Considering the Weight of Existence. And I'm not going to play the full video. It was in 210p. That was the whole video, I think, is 10 minutes long. It's like 20 megabytes. But I just want to play the first minute of it, because this is an example of a video that I watch and I see a very young kid. I see a kid that is struggling and dealing with a lot, who is clearly working through things in their mind and articulating it with the world, hoping to connect with people, who feels maybe quite lonely and just wants to make those connections. And that person was me. And, parents, maybe for some of you, grandparents, probably not. They had maybe photos of them when they were a kid. But a photo is an image. You look at it and you impose your memories on that. A video, of course, is about interpretation, but you are looking at someone who is talking with a voice, is behaving, they're human, they're there in front of you. And so when I watched this video, I did get quite emotional the first time because I just wanted to give this kid a hug. And as I said, this kid was me. So we'll just watch a minute of it, and then we'll chat.
I guess the thing with opening up with YouTube, in terms of your thoughts on that, is you can't control who watches it. Well, you can if you put it on private, but I'm not bothered with that. I'm someone who's obviously open, as a lot of you know, and I'm usually open with people most people, but it's usually done on an individual basis. So something like this is a bit different for me. I know there'll be people who take the piss, but I really can give a fuck, because all that it matters is the people who do take it seriously and people who do respond to this. I go through moments in life where I will be maybe driving, or I may be at an event or something, or I might have had a bit to drink, or I'm watching a movie, and I go through a deep train of thought, questioning existence, why am I here, and that. And I'm sure people go through that. And I'll tell you something I found with life is everyone desires the same thing, where people are open to each other, people can trust each other, and people can love each other totally. I know Sexy Phil recently, when he posted a video about, finding out he lost his brother.
I'm going to end it there. So interestingly enough, I don't really want to start YouTube drama now, but Sexy Phil is Philip DeFranco. He does the Philip DeFranco show. And this was off the back of a couple of conversations, one of which was I had done a video because a close friend of mine had died at Christmas in a car accident. Incredibly sad, and was a lot to deal with. But when I used to do shows on Stickam, hey Hannah, well this is why we're going down memory lane, Hannah. It's good to see you here, and it's good to see Mark and everyone that stopped in. This is what it's about. But Phil DeFranco used to come into my Stickam live shows, and he used to have a green screen set up, and he used to record his videos while being in my chat room. And I was good friends with his now wife Lindsay, Braves girl she was called, because named after the Braves sports team. But yeah, the video is up there, and I was about to allude to it, and I just don't want to start drama, but and also it was something personal, but basically I was very moved by a video that Phil had done on his channel, which was his brother had been shot dead. But the video doesn't exist anymore, and I don't know if it's just because it was a part of his life he wanted to take away. But yeah, I'm really not sure about that background, and so that's why I felt a bit weird letting the video play there. So yeah, as you can see, oh, here we go, Miss Annie, hi from Italy, that's good. I didn't even click on my phone, brought me here, and I was thinking, damn, he looks the same, realised it's an old video. Yeah, I've grown up a little bit, but we're going through the memories here, Hannah, and what I would say to everyone is, if you're subscribed, do ring the bell, because then you'll get notifications of my weekly videos. I do a weekly podcast show called The Quest for Global Empathy, and every Wednesday on here, we do these live shows where we chat about topics. And I really do want you guys to add to a tip jar in terms of ideas of what topics you'd like future ones to be. But next week is going to be the last Wednesday of September, which means it's going to be just a free-for-all Q&A. So we don't have to worry about ideas for next week. But yeah, it's really, really good to see you there. I remember you talking about this friend, it's why you never liked Christmas. Well, afterwards, I was very numb to Christmas. Growing up, Christmas was my favourite time of the year. Now, I like it a lot more now, but it definitely dampens it a lot. So yeah, there's that. I'm 30 now, feeling very old with these videos, mate. It's all good, man. It's all about reflection and time. SXE, yeah, he's not sexy, he's SXE. That was it. That was what the channel was. Yeah. Yeah, no rules next week. Woohoo! Right, one second, guys. I've just realised I forgot to turn something on. Much better, much better. Bit of light in the background. I do want to get some lights that go around the edge of the table. So, anyway, so that video, you can see a lot of the values in that video, right, with who I am now. We are a domino effect. We are a knock-on effect on what we were before. And so, yeah, I've course, I've grown up a lot. I've gone through a lot of really horrible experiences since then. A lot of trauma I dealt with, and unfortunately, I was involved in abusive situations, which really messed me up and meant I was not a particularly good person myself, in the sense of a terrible friend. I lost a best friend. I just wasn't on it as much as I'd have liked to be. But this is what happens when you look back. I've always said progress is something you only notice when you look over your shoulder, and that definitely appeals with there. Didn't you do some misheard lyric videos? I think you used to watch your videos and never subscribed, I guess. Good to see you. That's cool. Well, welcome, Roy. Yeah, so I did a Kill Switch Engage one, actually. It was my first ever video, which was Potatoes Will Rise. I wanted to actually do a proper scream then, but I realised I don't want to sort of annoy my neighbours. Production value +1. Thank you, Mark. So I have a video that I did in 2016. So this is 5 years ago, which was called 10 Years on YouTube, where I reflected on it. And I'm actually happy for us to go through it now. And what I can do is I can pause it, because it is a really good video. I'm not just saying it because I made it, but it was because I talked not just about me on YouTube for 10 years, it was about how YouTube changed. So why don't we just go through it together, and then we can stop and talk about it at different sections, yeah? Watching this is reminding you how much YouTube has changed. If you could go back in time, what would you do anything differently? Yeah, I mean, for me, so I got, well, I talk about this quite a lot, and I was really annoyed earlier on Instagram. I saw one of these well-being apps quote someone who says, you know, if you get burned out, it means you're not doing something you enjoy. Choose something, and that'll be your energy and fuel. And something I have learned is, actually, I think that's really bad advice, because you can get burnt out doing stuff you enjoy, arguably more so. I used to spend so much time doing YouTube stuff where I wouldn't sleep a lot, I'd be working long hours, but because I enjoyed it, I didn't mind. I just kept doing it more and more, and I didn't look out for myself. And yeah, I burnt myself out quite a lot. And I also think just before I had my head injury 6 years ago, I had a bit of an identity crisis. Stick Aid, the charity event I did every year, one of them didn't go particularly well. And, you know, you always think, progress is a straight line. It isn't. And then even when you're zigzagging and then you have a massive downfall, you think, oh, that's going backwards. It's not. You're going to still progress in that direction. And so, yeah, in terms of doing things differently, I would have just had a lot more patience. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. And as I say, when I see myself quite vulnerable in these videos, I wish I could just give myself a hug and say, Myles, things are going to be great. Just, you know, stick at it and give things time. But yeah, it is quite emotional to look at myself in that way. So I'm happy to take all your questions and comments as we go through this, but let's take a look at this 10-year video, because I was very proud when I made it, and it will show you all sorts, including all the hairstyles, and also maybe a character I used to play online. Hey, Callie. I remember you giving a humorous one-word summary for a whole pile of films. I watch lots of films, but you have trouble summarising them in multiple sentences. Glad you're well, Myles. Well, I appreciate that. And seriously, seeing all these people here, like, it's really, really cool. And do subscribe. And even if you don't use YouTube, search The Quest for Global Empathy on wherever you get podcasts from, because I do them weekly now. And this is one of the reasons I do this show weekly, because every week I get people from the past who tune in. 15 years is a long time. And by the way, my subscribers keep going down, like, every day, losing them. Oh my God, not Peter. That's nonsense. I still adore the guitar as much as I did when I first picked it up. Every now and then I take a week or so off when I'm too burnt out to be inspired. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. The one-word summary of movies. I'm trying to think which one that is. Anyway, let's go into this video and take a look. Oh no, this is not it. Everyone, hope all is well. As of May 27th, 2016, it has been 10 years since I first joined YouTube. 10
years.
So this was 5 years
It's
ago.
been a truly life-shaping experience involving the creation of over 700 videos, which have had tens of millions of views. So I thought I'd take a moment to reflect on the past decade.
Can you hear me all right?
I first signed up to the site just to post random creations like misheard lyrics.
There you go, misheard lyrics.
But then a few weeks later, I saw a news story about an elderly man named Peter Oakley who had set up a YouTube account, Geriatric1927, and posted a video titled First Try, which received millions of views within days.
I got addicted to YouTube.
Fascinated by this story, I decided to check it out and was blown away by the hundreds of people who were posting video responses introducing themselves too. Therefore, I decided to give it a go myself.
We know this story.
My name was Blade376.
Hi YouTube, it's Myles, Blade376.
It was just a name I had used for many years online when playing computer games because I thought it sounded cool. I didn't expect this to go anywhere, but
Agreed,
upon
Mark.
receiving several views and a few comments of encouragement, I continued making videos. And
So where I'm actually doing this vlog, not on screen there, but where I'm actually talking about it, it is in this room. So I was actually facing this way. The table was against this wall. The green blind is behind this screen. I've actually got an Instagram reel where I show you how I switched it around, and I still have that microphone. It's in the cupboard behind me, but obviously during lockdown, this is where I did it. By the way, is the sound quality okay between me talking over the video? Because I've actually never done like a running commentary before. I kind of like doing this. I wouldn't mind doing it more often if it works well. And by the way, if you're watching, do give this video a thumbs up. We're at 7 thumbs up. There are 15 of you watching. 15 of you beautiful, lovely people that have a thumb and you love to thumb up videos like this one.
ball started rolling. My hair definitely went through a lot of changes over the years.
I love this part of the video. Check this out. You ready? This is absolutely glorious. And someone gave a thumbs down. You want to change your mind on that. You want to rethink. Maybe you had your screen up the wrong way round. You know, these things happen.
Curly.
Look at that. Curly, straight.
Reasonably
Can I actually go backwards on it? No.
tidy.
Wild. So that was when I had the background downstairs and I had everyone's submissions. And by the way, whoever turned the thumbs down to a thumbs up, I love you. I love you. See, that shows strength, someone who's willing to change their mind. Although, if you gave a thumbs up, don't change your mind and thumbs down. That's not what I meant. But yeah, when I took it all down, blue tack is the worst. Do you have blue tack in the US, by the way? Annie, the 62nd September, the self-critical one, that made so much sense to me back then. Looking back, I feel like I've changed a lot too. So weird. By the way, we can hear your voice perfectly. That's great. I love your avatar, by the way. Just popped a thumbs up. Thought it was me for a sec, but my screen suggested it was a thumbs up. That's good. Great. I'm really glad to hear this. Smooth.
See, long, short.
Yeah, long. So, does anyone know who that YouTuber is? Who, where is it? Oh, wow. There. Do you know
Long.
Do you know what YouTuber? He's putting his hat on me and he's wearing a green shirt. Does anyone remember what YouTuber this was? I'll give you a clue. Initials DD. Also, that's Kev Jumba in the background. And Happy Slip. That was her. Oh man, this is when I used to be a proper YouTuber. Not Nerd3, no. It was Dave Days. Remember Dave Days? I mean, Dave Days is still out doing stuff now, but he was always doing great covers. Short hair and shorter. Look at that. That was after Stickade. Funnily enough, that was when I had all my hair shaved off. Duh. But then I was like, oh, wow. It makes you realise how much protection your hair gives you. And then I had my head injury.
And yet
You remember him. Yeah, Dave Days. Dave Days. Let's have a look, actually. Let's bring it up. Actually, no, if I come off it, it'll probably... Actually, this will be a good test. Where are we in the video? 136. If I do... Here he is. Dave Days. I mean, he's not wearing a white hat there, but he always wore that green shirt. That was his brand. I used to get on really well with him. Man. God. It is amazing. It is amazing how time flies. Right, we'll go back to this video and see if it works. Hey Jay, how you doing? See, lots of people. Why is everyone tuned in today on particular? Because I do this every Wednesday. Why has it gone into everyone's feed? Hey Kevin, good to see you here. I remember the track to Heavy Metal song from Dave Days when I did the vocal for Heavy Metal Farmer. Cows go moo when they poo. It was like that. And I almost didn't do the vocals for it. I was meant to hand it to him, and I just got my camera and sat in my car, and I just did it into it. It was ridiculous. But yeah, good to see you, Jay. I remember doing a camping trip with you and about 30 YouTubers back in 2008. I'll talk about that, actually, because that camping trip was what inspired Summer in the City. Wasn't there a Venus Project phase? I mean, it never went away. Never went away. Yeah, it was called Festinio, and it was with the money, some of the money we done from what was it? Upstaged, which we'll get to on this video.
Hey everyone, hope all is well.
So it doesn't. Oh, is this what this does? Go to next. No, it'd be cool if you could keep going back to it. Okay, I'm learning this broadcast software anyway.
Anywhere, but upon receiving several views and a few comments of encouragement, I continued to decide what to do with it. And then the headwear, like my trademark black cap, which I seem to wear all the time. And there was this bandana thing made of t-shirt sleeves when turning them into tank tops. The joys of looking back on perceived fashion. In the first few years, the YouTube community was so incredibly small. All the video bloggers worldwide pretty much knew each other. It was nice. But being one of the only main video bloggers from the UK, it meant I only really got to hang out with the majority of others when travelling abroad. 777 in New York was the first.
Oh man, okay, I need to talk about this. I can only go back 30 seconds. That's like a quarter of the video. So let's go through some of these. So Geriatric, I got to see Peter Oakley. That's Dave Days. There you go, Dave Days there.
Got to hang out.
Okay, so Death by Puppets. Does anyone remember this guy? It was the first time I met him. I'd never seen him, but he had the clown puppet, and the clown used to do intros for some of my videos where it would get taken off YouTube now, but he did ABBA Dancing Queen, and it was the clown going wow, wow, wow. Do you know what? Let's just show it. Right, we're at 2 minutes in the video. Let me load this up. Not this video. Right, let me just get another video up. Choose file. I must have it. YouTube videos. It's when I used to do them in like season podcasts. Oh man, maybe I don't have it. No, I don't have it on here. That's really annoying. And if I do it on screen share, it's not going to work. That's really annoying.
Everyone, hope all is well.
Right, we are back here anyway. Oh yeah, the other people.
With the majority of us.
Kev Jumba. And I remember a conversation I had with him here. He was saying about, you can have a packet of crisps and doing all that sort of stuff.
When travel.
The Hill 88, Caitlin, adore her. She's doing great stuff now, working in acting and comedy.
Abroad.
Tony Stockart. Now you know what mask he's holding. I got him it as a gift. These were David Beckham masks. Yeah. Karen Sprickett, 27. So I've told this story before, but I'll go over it really quickly. I adored Karen, got on really well with her, and then we caught up a couple years ago. She had a head injury, and she basically was at work. She slipped, hit her head. The quick thing is she was taken in an ambulance. Then they do the check of like, do you know like what year it is and stuff like that. And she suddenly screamed, passed out, and when she came to, she couldn't remember the last 10 years. And so when I caught up with her and we were on a video call together about 2 years ago, she went, Myles, I'm really sorry. This is really embarrassing. I was like, no, it's cool. She goes, but I don't really remember who you are. And basically, all the times we'd hung out together and chatted, she'd forgotten about the last time she knew of me was in this, which was at 777 in New York. And in that time, she'd had kids, she had a partner. Like, just to go through that, she's doing a lot better now. But it was an incredibly emotional conversation, and I felt it was a very difficult one to navigate because I wanted to talk about memories, but I always wanted to do it from a descriptive standpoint. Like, you know, we were close, we got on really well, but none of that really mattered because I was like, I just need to tell her that, you know, we hung out here and that was it. Yeah, Karen's amazing, and I miss hanging out with her. But yeah, she still looks like she's in her 20s, and she's like, I think she's in her 40s now. Always blows my mind. I'm glad the algorithm decided to show me your live today. I've got flashbacks to watching you live in my college dorm. Glad you'd be doing well. Appreciate that, Jay, man. It's the algorithm can sometimes serve us well, but do subscribe and ring that bell. And by the way, we've got 19 people watching now. Every week, more people are tuning in, and it makes me so happy because every week I'm losing more subscribers as I'm trying to get this old video up and running. 20. If we can get 5 people to give a thumbs up. And by the way, for those of you that missed it, I'm going to show you this again. I was showing this hoodie. This hoodie is a 2008 hoodie. An official 2008 YouTube hoodie. And I might as well wear my hat from the good old days. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going through something like that. I don't think she could either, because she can't remember. Here we go. Let's go back with the hat. But yeah, it's sad. And it's why you've got to be very, very good to your head and, you know, realise that these things happen. It's what I learned with my head injury.
And in New York was...
what's his name? Oh man, I'm connected with him on Facebook. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. He did a really good video where he was talking about perspectives, and then at the end of the video he turns around and you realise that you were looking in the mirror the whole time. It's like a really cool sleight of hand. Like, that was the thing back then. YouTube videos were so experimental. The Mighty Beanie.
Proper opportunity.
Anna Spade, adore her. Ian Crossland. Now, Ian Crossland, I was staying with this year. Do you know what Ian Crossland does now? Does anyone recognise him? He was called Crossmac at the time. Really out there. Always like getting high and stuff. Really nice guy. Got on really well with him. But he did sometimes do some really trippy trains of thought. But he now is a producer for Timpool, the Timcast in the States. And he's actually one of the producers on the show, so he sometimes chimes in on stuff. I've been subscribed since 2011-ish. Never unsubbed, just been on a long journey of my own life over the past decade. Yeah, I wasn't talking about you being unsubscribed. I was just talking about the bell, because the bell is the thing that people do now. And people come and go, but it's always good to reconnect. Absolutely, man. No, I'm really, really appreciative of it, and it's really good today to go through this. Look at this. This was the first gathering, the first YouTube gathering ever, and it was organised by Reneto Quaichi, Reneto being Paul Robinette, and myself.
The first UK gathering.
There he is, and there's me.
In the year as well. If I recall.
Yeah, from Timcast, that's it.
Correctly, the average age of people going to these gatherings back then was around 25. And I remember thinking to myself, I really need to grow up. And so...
Can I just say something? Do I look like I could be in U2 right now with this hat on?
I have over the years, and I go to gatherings now where
I don't
the
know,
average
I thought
age
U2.
is more around 16. Oh, how things have changed. By the end of 2007, these events attracted a lot more interest and enthusiasm.
If you turn around, who's here?
So that was 2009. This was at 789 in Toronto, Canada.
News organisations worldwide felt compelled to report on them.
Wicked. Well, Myles...
Even if they didn't get my name right. And then Annie Mac, who stepped down from Radio 1. She was very kind to me.
Been a pleasure to speak to you, and keep doing what you do, because it sounds like a very healthy, inspiring thing to do.
This is just the beginning of something very big.
He's taken over the world!
I'm not someone who likes to sort of give myself a pat on the back, but something... Well, actually, no, this is a good lesson, okay? So I always get asked, especially when I'm teaching in schools, like, how did you get so many subscribers? And I'm like, look, I was at 50,000 8 years ago. I'm now on like 47,000. But it's not about subscribers, it's about impact. And the direction I went with YouTube was away from entertainment and more about how this platform can change the world. It meant I got invited to a lot less events. I lost friends because I was no longer a commodity that was transactional. Like, no one wanted to collab with me, because why would you collab with someone that is doing stuff that's so serious? And this is I'm not using it as a generalizations. There are, of course, exceptions to the rule. And so when I'm getting asked about the first YouTube gathering I set up, and I say this is just the beginning of something much bigger, I'm very proud of myself that, you know, when I was at school, I was an outcast. And then when I started YouTube, I felt a part of something. And then as I went down this route, I became more of an outcast again, it felt like. But I'm really glad that I stuck to my guns. And it's not to say that being stubborn is always a good thing. And I definitely changed with a lot of ways. But my belief in the technology, my belief in online community, it did. I had a lot of, you know, people that rolled their eyes going, oh, there goes Myles again. But it was because I genuinely believed it. I genuinely believed it. And 15 years later, I look back now and I feel vindicated when I see stuff like this. And it was only possible because of people like you out there that had my back. And it means the world. I love the live streams YouTubers can do nowadays. Really lets them connect with their subscribers. Yeah, live streams are awesome. You make an awesome Bono 2.0. I'm only here as I had a gallbladder operation on Friday, as I usually play poker on Wednesdays. Kevin, man, I hope you're well rested and you're doing better. And how good are you at poker? I'm terrible with poker because I always get bored. Man, seeing you takes me back to Bohem. So Bohem I speak with, Ben and I have reconnected. Mad V. So Mad V, I never knew who Mad V was, but I loved him. Does anyone, people remember Mad V? He wore the anonymous mask and he always did like the card tricks and had the stuff on his hand. Reneto, Paul Robinette, I'm still connected with on Facebook. I don't chat with him much anymore. YouTube Watchdog, that was the person that wore the mask, yeah. And even Lonely Girl, Bree, yeah. I can't believe life passes so quickly. It certainly does. We are 2 miles. We're glad you stuck to YouTube. Well, I appreciate that. So, but just keep that in mind while listening to this bit. And by the way, this live show normally ends on the hour. I'm feeling really, really good. So if you guys are up for it, I'll keep going beyond this. Yeah, we'll just keep going. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you here. We've got 21 people watching. If you're watching, just click that like button. I'm talking to you. Yeah. You sat there thinking, oh, he hasn't seen me. I know who you are. And by the way, if you're not in the chat talking, that's totally fine. I still love you. My friend Brian Paul on PSVR Without Parole always says at the end. And to all of you out there who didn't say a damn thing, we know who you are, and we still love you for it. I love it. Charlie Sokolite. Charlie's in Canada now. He's been writing for shows and that. I've always been trying to reach out to him, reconnect, and hadn't had much luck. And you know what? People move on in life, and I don't fault him for it. I hope that I would love to have him on my show, The Quest for Global Empathy, sometime, just to catch up and, you know, reminisce about the good old times. Jay, I'm here for it. I love it. Heck yes. All right, we're going overtime. Woo! Encore. Do you want more? Good to see you here, Michael. Charlie did post something. He did a video on his YouTube, but it was promoting his Twitch. Yeah. Hey, Dan. Good to see you here, buddy. So anyway, we'll keep going. But just keep that in mind that from these early days on YouTube, like 2007, I was a real hippie with it.
Keep doing what you do, because it sounds like a very healthy, inspiring thing to do.
Oh yeah, this is just the beginning of something very big.
He's taken over the world. It's
sure
Blades 376. Watch out!
I was becoming a huge online community enthusiast. At the end of 2006, I had conducted a 24-hour live stream from my university dorm to raise...
I didn't mention Lonely Girl 15 just because this is about the 10 years on YouTube. So again, this is in 2016. From my perspective and my thing on community, look, Lonely Girl 15 was clearly a big part of YouTube, and there's a lot of big people in YouTube, but for me it was more about the community aspect, and you know, it was really good the stuff they did. I actually used to work with the guy that worked on the Lonely Girl 15 stuff, Luke Himes, who then went to work for Maker Studios and then Disney. Really, really smart, really great guy. Summer in the City was awesome. So commercial these days. Well, that's it. Anthony from Smosh is still going with more grown-up videos. That's cool. Anthony I used to speak to quite a bit. Ian I got on with really well. But they were both really, really lovely guys.
For the children's charity UNICEF. Thanks to the support
that is Matt Smitherdy.
to fellow
The Wine Cone. I'm still connected with him. I should drop him a line. This is Adam Paranoia. So this was in LA. Do you know the US Bank Tower? Yeah, so this is at 3 minutes. Look. Let's do it. It's the tallest building in LA. You see it on like GTA and everything. So I was, you can see my cursor, can't you? I was literally like here. This is where Stickade was. Stickade 2009. Where this light is on. I think it was there. It might have been a bit higher. But we were right near the top. You had to take multiple elevators to get up there. Yeah. That was where Stickam HQ was. And that was where Stickade 2009 was. Oh my God, I've just remembered something. So that year, I must have video clips of it. Does anyone remember Stevie Ryan? Oh man. So I only knew her from her personality stuff, her acting and that. Oh man. She was on. She presented with me. She came on Stickade. Adam knew her. I actually went out for dinner, lunch with Chris Crocker. You know, Leave Britney Alone. Got on really, really well with him. But Stevie Ryan, absolutely amazing human being. Got on really well with her. Really, really funny. She took her life in 2017. It's just one of those things of like, she was so good. And like, this sort of goes back to the culture. When I was with her, I was in awe at her, and I would have loved to have, hung out with her more, and because she was amazing. But I just assumed she's massive on YouTube, and beautiful, popular, and got on well, and was great hanging out when doing Stickade. But I just kind of felt like, I don't want to bother her. And then when you find out stuff like this, it's just like, I wish I'd, reached out to her and maybe said those things. And it goes back to what I talk about a lot at the moment, about vitamin G. We always express our gratitude to people. We don't always. It's very commonplace to express our gratitude for people after the fact, or sometimes it's too late. And so in those moments, that's when we should express our real appreciation for people. Oh my God, it's sad. And there was a guy called The Tail's End, Ryan. He wasn't a big YouTuber or anything, but he was from LA, big supporter of Stickade and that. And he'd fought off cancer a few times, and then I hadn't spoken to him for a while, and then he'd passed away of cancer. And I go on his YouTube channel, and his last video is him basically. He was quite a chubby guy, and he was just very frail, and he was basically saying he doesn't want to feel like this anymore. He was in so much pain, and seeing it's still on his YouTube channel now. I mean, I wouldn't look it up just because it's very upsetting, but it's really interesting about the how YouTube immortalizes these parts in people's lives and that. But yeah, let me go back to that video if I can remember where it was, and I'm just going to read your comments.
Hey everyone, hope all is well.
Yeah, it was there, wasn't it? That was it. So that was in the US Bank Tower. I missed the old Summer in the City. I spoke to you at the Scare Maze by the Thames. You can't even talk to creators now. There's such a divide between fans and creators. Yeah, I think it's just because the flux of audience, they have to be so much more careful now. You get all the things about parents turning up at houses of creators. Stickade was awesome. Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. Hey, Anisha. Always express it in the moment, and it's why I'm very lucky to be doing this with you guys now. Bit of British politeness can make things go tits up sometimes. That is true. That is true. Actually, I'm not. I have a funny story with Stevie. She talked about queefing on this live stream, and me being the naive, I asked what queefing was, and so she explained it on this Stickade live stream. It was so funny. It was. So... Isn't that a weird memory to have? I love it. I love it. That's my memory of Stevie Ryan.
Fellow YouTubers and our viewers, it grew year on year under the name Stick.
There you go, me and Charlie. This was when we did the sort of the midway thing. So who have we got here? I can't... That's not Fleur. Is that Fleur? Looks a bit... That is Fleur. Got Tom... what was his name? Tom Law. He was a musician. Marwan is amazing, and he's absolutely smashing it on TV now. And then the RH Experience, who are still doing brilliant, and Connor. I mean, I get on well with them all. Absolutely amazing people. I love it. Everyone likes the Queef story.
With its peak in 2000.
Here we go. We got Dan, Phil. Well, Phil's not there. We got Ashen, Stuart Ashen, Liam. They're doing that electrocution game. This was the best Stickade ever because everyone chipped in and made it work. And unfortunately, what happened, I've spoken about this on my 2 podcast episodes ago, because of celebrity, because of the influx of cash and, people, time is money, Stickade became a thing where people turning up, they just wanted to be told what to do and do their bit, whereas it was less of a community thing, which was a shame. Liam's a really, really great guy. Love him. And look, this was it.
Millions tuned in and tens of thousands of dollars were raised.
This is one of my favourite moments of all time.
To get invited to speak at the...
There we go. VidCon. Shira Lazar, I adore her. We've reconnected recently. She's really into her... I'm not going to say spirituality, but like well-being and that. And she's all about being positive, doing those positivity reels with mantras and stuff like that.
Biggest YouTube convention.
Yeah, RH Experience is still about. I still go and see them live. If any of you are in the UK, when things open up again, the RH Experience used to do a lot of shows at the Miller, which is right by the Shard in London, and it's always an amazing time. And they really paved the way. Hey Thomas, it's good to see you here. Kevin, man, absolutely. Miss you dearly, buddy. But I was saying at the start of it, follow my band because we have a lot of big news coming out very, very soon.
And to get a response...
This response. This was in front of like 6,000 people. Or no, 3 to 6,000 people at VidCon.
This was inspiring to say the least.
This is going to be an awkward question because I might get no response, but has anyone heard of Stickade? I think I got my answer.
For 3 years, I studied psychology at university, whilst also creating videos with a small webcam sat on top of me.
That was me doing a radio show. And do you know what was really annoying? Was the radio show, it was obviously done on actual radio, but it was also done digitally. And it turned out there was a limit. I only found this out when my show ended. People were struggling to tune into the show, and it's because there was a limit of only 10 people could tune in on the website. So we were just smashing it every week, and people weren't able to connect. We also did it on Stickam. So annoying.
Laptop. Did the job, but made an awful lot of noise whenever I tried to move it.
I'm putting like a complete weirdo walking around with this laptop.
My family urged me not to become too distracted by YouTube. Understandably, because back then, online video was not perceived as an obvious stepping stone towards employment. I maintained a healthy balance, and one day I got a message from lecturers saying that I had been quoted in dissertations by students studying teaching. As a result, I was asked to give talks to students on YouTube as a tool for education, and was even brought into the fold with their blended learning department. I studied psychology with the intent of one day becoming a counsellor, because the well-being of others is what keeps me going in life. But after going through depression myself...
So that's the video, who was it mentioned? I'm trying to remember which one of you mentioned it. I'm scrolling all the way up now. But one of you asked if the video... It was Carrot Red. You were asking if it was the video where I smash a glass. This was it. It was where I was so mad and like depressed. I went into my bathroom and I had so much rage. I didn't know what to do. And so I just swiped my hand across the bathroom and I broke loads of glasses and I was bleeding everywhere, and I showed it on it. Hey Rectator, appreciate your authenticity and openness. Very wholesome to listen to you, but I don't know any of these YouTubers. What's DPM mean? I do. DPM was. Oh, you don't really have context to watch this. That's fine. Well, this video, it's not about the YouTubers. It's about how the platform has changed. So as we go through it, you know, there will be things that you probably relate to just of how YouTube has changed. Because at this point, it's about buying into the technology. As I mentioned there, my parents didn't want me to do YouTube when I went to university. That's all right. You had me guessing for a while. But it's because there was no way of making money, and then my first job at the end of university was for the BBC. So again, I hedged my bets, and it paid off. So I was very fortunate for that. And this video is really what this is. This is the eureka moment for me. Of I mean, look at that user interface on there with like the end cards and the way the views are. But this was, and 100,000 views in 2009 is phenomenal for a video, especially because it was like a 10-minute video of me talking about being depressed and how someone like me who looks quite confident can have depression and it's okay to get help. Yeah, I mean, this was a real eureka moment for me, because this is why I was in university doing psychology to be a counsellor, and I was like, wow. I really could help people using YouTube. And actually, for anyone that is tuned in and hasn't tuned into my channel for a long while, and I apologise for repeating something I mentioned at the start, but it's really, really important. I do a podcast show that goes up on my YouTube channel every Monday at the same time as this. Every Monday, but it's also on all podcast platforms. It's called The Quest for Global Empathy. If I was to say there's one episode to check out, I've done 12 episodes now. Please check out next Monday's. Next Monday is with Professor Paul Gilbert, who is the founder of the Compassionate Mind Foundation and Compassion Focused Therapy. He gave workshops that have taught a lot of practitioners around the country. My therapist from 4 years ago, who totally changed my life, she practiced compassion focused therapy and introduced me to him. And so I have a 2-hour conversation with him on Monday's episode. I recorded it yesterday, and he did this book, The Compassionate Mind. And I talk about my experience with YouTube and expressive insight, which was a theory I came up with on how you can use YouTube to help with your own depression. Because what you do is you end up seeing yourself as another person. When I'm depressed and I record a video and I watch it, like on this video, I now see myself as another person. I'm not trying to deal with something like internally. I actually see myself, and I have compassion for myself because I see myself as another person. And so we talk a lot about that. So whether you're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, just search Quest for Empathy. It's called The Quest for Global Empathy. Or subscribe and ring the bell on here. And yeah, I just appreciate the support with the podcast because it's still in its early days. It's not, getting huge traffic at the moment, but the guests have been absolutely remarkable. Really good conversations, and I just want to say again, anyone who's watching right now, I'm really, really grateful because I'm turning this massive oil tanker in my life at the moment, and to pick up a channel that is so old and has a lot of legacy issues. The natural inclination right now is to stop doing what I'm doing because, as I said, I'm losing subscribers more than I'm gaining them because of the algorithm. But at the same time, every week I do this, more people tune in and I have more and more great conversations. And I love you all. So I just wanted to be clear about that. All of your old videos are still on the channel. I was looking for a specific one a few months ago and I couldn't find it. I think this was when I first came across you. I was listening to Jenny Barnett and LBC and she mentioned you on air, so I looked up your channel. Interesting. Well, if you can remember what the video was, I mean, there's a lot that have been privated, and I've been privating more recently, and it's because there's a lot of videos that don't serve the channel, like when people find me via it. Like my most viewed channel video daily, by far, is The Innocence of Muslims, and it was about that illegal movie, that movie that sparked a lot of controversy because it depicted Muhammad, and I've got Muhammad depicted on the thumbnail from the thing. But I take a balanced approach, saying killing people for a movie is insane, but this is why people from the Muslim world are pissed off, because it's just the West, mocking them while, controlling dictatorships and going to war and stuff like that. And I'm deciding whether to take it down because it is bringing me traffic, but does it really relate to what I'm talking about now? It's a difficult one. Gotcha. Well, that's interesting. Interesting, Kelly. Am I technically a content creator? I uploaded all of my student films to here. I've also written and acted in videos for my mates. Most of it's private because it's embarrassingly bad. Man, there's stuff that I've done that's embarrassingly bad, and I've some of it's still online actually, and I just embrace it. Like, people mock me for it, and I'm like, I'm totally comfortable with the fact that I'm not perfect. And one of the first YouTube videos I ever did was called Admit to the World You're Not Perfect, and that is another example of a value system that I've brought through the years, because I have never been ashamed to say I'm flawed, I've made big mistakes in my life, things that I'm, ashamed of or feel guilty about, but it's about what you do with that and the action you take to be a better person, and that's what I always strive to be. And I hope that I can inspire other people not to give up on bettering themselves, because we can all be on that journey. Mojo, I adore you. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. I did some back in the day. It's awful, but it was fun and social. Exactly. It's all about experimenting. You learn a lot. I can't recall the title. It was a pretty long monologue, and you were sitting on your computer, and it was full body shot. Maybe, were you here at the beginning when I did it? Right, where are we at this video? 4 minutes 20. Was it this video?
I guess the thing with opening up with YouTube, in terms of your thoughts on that, is you can't control who watches it. Well, you can if you put it on private, but I'm not bothered with that.
Hey everyone, hope all is well.
Okay, it might not have been that one, but
it is.
That was called Dealing with the Weight of Existence. But I don't know. I'll have a look for you. But yeah, we went through that video earlier. God, we've already done a third of this video. This is going to be a late one. Tom Smells. Noted. Tom, do you have a defence?
I had been quoted in dissertations by students studying teaching. As a result, I was asked to give talks to students on YouTube as a tool for education, and was even brought into the fold with their blended learning department. I studied psychology with the intent of one day becoming a counsellor, because the well-being of others is what keeps me going in life. But after going through depression myself and broadcasting my experiences with a video called You Are Not Alone, which received an incredible response, it was yet another reason why I believed my future of helping people was to be undertaken via online video instead.
And that's expressive insight. That was the theory I came up with at university. It was too ambitious to be a third-year project, so I was never able to do it. I was offered to do some research for it afterwards, but I just didn't have the money. So yeah. Give yourself permission to suck. It is incredibly rare for people to pick up a particular skill instantly. Lots of experts in their fields are commonly experts based on long-term experience. That's absolutely right. But if you never give yourself permission to fail, you by proxy also miss out on the experience. That's true.
With the community still rather small back then, I was often in contact with the YouTube staff, providing feedback on their services and supporting campaigns that they'd launched.
Myles, you're raising some very big points about our civil liberties.
I mean, this is in my YouTube channel trailer, and I want to remake it just because, obviously, I look a bit different now. My YouTube channel trailer's about 5 years old, but obviously it's a bit of a while now. But having the leader of your country record a video response. Although the question I asked was about political correctness, which is a bit of a right-wing trope these days. But it came from a good place.
Then was called Ask the PA.
Your US trip, the 2007 London Gathering, BBC Upstage. Oh, we're going to get to that.
Receiving a video response from...
Look, that was the custom YouTube channel. That was when it was like not likes and dislikes. It was, or maybe it was actually, it was past the 5-star rating system.
Country's leader was very surreal and opened my mind further to the possibilities this technology has. In 2009,
I used to film those videos in my wardrobe when I was at uni.
BBC wanted to tap into this community, and they contacted me to find out if I
Here we
fancied
go.
spending 6 hours a day in a glass
Tebliz.
box installed in a town centre, doing whatever I can to gain more online votes than an opponent.
I still get asked about this on everything. And your hair was terrible. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this earlier when I get asked about it. It was because I was so insecure about how I looked, so I liked long hair to cover my face.
Not what I really had in mind, but I was up for it. However, I soon discovered they were approaching other YouTubers as well, using us to leverage our audience to their show, whilst knocking each other out. So I contacted the others and said, hey, let's team up and work together. And so we did. As we beat the competition show after show with ease due to our large online following, it caused a lot of controversy, especially since we were not a traditional act. This was a time when online community and the digital power of grassroots efforts was very new to traditional broadcasters.
You stage vloggers from the UK.
We won a grand final of a BBC reality TV show run by Endemol, who do Big Brother. It is surreal.
To Don 1977.
Ben Loker, yes, Ben Loker, definitely, he's still doing stuff. Really spiritual guy and still amazing. He did such great videos. I like the hair. Thank you, Chazza. Afro Miles was peak fashion. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Winning the grand final, we invested some of the prize money into hosting a charity YouTube gathering.
Metallica Matt, I know, he used to do beatboxing, and his beatboxing was going and it's like, mate, that's not beatboxing, but we always got him to do it. And he always used to go cracking. That was his I wish I was still in contact with him. I don't know what, I've lost contact. Metallica Matt, if you're watching, get in touch, brother.
For our supporters. Off the back of this, I was invited to an internal BBC show called Wired and Inspired.
This is another great example, guys. I look at myself on this, and Matt Callanan, who was on my podcast 2 Mondays ago, he says that he was in the audience here, and he was really inspired by me, by what I did, and I didn't know that until he told me on the podcast. And again, I just want to give myself a hug here because I felt I was very alone. I was laughed at by an audience when I said, like, I put YouTube videos on my CV, my resume, to prove what I did. And I actually say in the interview, when they say, so have you had a job yet? I'm like, no, I didn't work. And I say, yeah, but just, I still believe in this, give this technology a chance.
To talk to Robert Llewellyn about my YouTube experiences. And whilst making an off-the-cuff remark about looking for a job.
But if you were going to apply for a job, you'd send that link?
Well, I've been applying recently for a job lately, and on my CV I actually have links to my YouTube videos.
Right.
And a lot of people look at that and go, what's he playing at? But just give it a chance, be open-minded, and this is new technology.
And have you had a...
You see, it's the way I'm sort of mumble, be open-minded, this is new technology, and I sort of like, my mouth sort of closes, and it's just, that's from insecurity. It's insecurity. And I've only learned it from looking back in hindsight.
To that from potential employers? I mean,
no, not yet. I'm still trying. Maybe for the reason I just
took one look at his YouTube video and that was it. He was out the door.
I love Rob.
They offered me one. I was only at the BBC for 6 months, helping with their comedy YouTube channel. After this, I worked in construction. I know, me, working in construction. Can you imagine? My career path has not been a straightforward one, but video has always been in my heart. While being a shelf stacker at a supermarket, I would carry a receipt reel, a blank one, in my pocket. And while doing the mind-numbing task, I would be thinking up video ideas and writing them down so I could go back at the weekend and work on them in my free time. I think it's fair to say I've never been afraid to show the world who I am, through the good and the bad. Whether that be discussing the concept of...
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, though, Robert Llewellyn, he is just a lovely, lovely guy. But it was a part... And he, to be honest, Robert Llewellyn... And I agree with what you say, though. Robert Llewellyn, he was someone that was really ahead of it because he started an online video show before YouTube existed. And his story was... Back when he was doing it, you had to pay for website space. And so if you did a video that did really well online, you had to shut it down because it was going to cost you loads of money. So success was very, very expensive, which is really, really funny.
Online identity on television, or vlogging about the time I flew to LA for a girl who turned out to have a husband.
Do you remember this? I did a 3-part series. There was a girl called Melody who I fell for online. We used to chat lots. I absolutely adored her. She had an abusive ex, and I think she had a kid as well. And so part 1 was about this girl I'm going to go see. Part 2 was I'm going to America to see her. And then part 3 was when I was in LA staying with Ian Crossland. And basically what happened was I called her the day before just to confirm stuff. And a guy picked up. And it was her husband. And I just said I was a friend. And I just wanted to make sure that she was all right. And he goes, I don't think that's necessary. And that was the last I heard of her. She got back in contact about 5 years ago. And she said that she'd seen the video and she didn't realise I'd actually gone to the States. But she's in a better place now. And I'm really happy for her because, yeah, people deserve happiness. But it was a real cool bit of reality TV drama. It takes a while to get confident. Usually it's got to be based on something real, so you have to prove your competence to yourself first. Yeah, it is. It's about reinforcing, you know. What happens when you're in the middle of some woods and it's dark and your phone's dead? You lose your confidence for the most part because it's like, how do I do with this? How do I deal with this? And that's how life is. Life is about, I use this quote all the time. It's from a lyric. We're just rehearsing who we think we are. But that's the thing is, the more you rehearse, the more confident you are when you enter situations.
Yikes. I always like to come...
Can we get to 30 likes, by the way? There are more people tuning in. I love this, by the way. I'm surprised how many people are tuning in today. I love you all. And every week I do this, I feel better and better. You are my energy. You are my fuel. And, next week is going to be a Q&A, just general Q&A and chat. But maybe we should do more of these, like looking through videos and that in future.
With ideas to...
I'm pretty confident at work when talking about work stuff, but super shy in my personal life. I get it. That's exactly it. Depends on the situation. Totally depends. Love that lyric. It's a great lyric.
Encourage others to start posting on YouTube. Whether that be attempting the...
Oh, that was Digital Soul. That is JMD, who always did amazing videos. He did a little video about a frog. I mean, I think it's like a 720p. It's not even that. But he was someone who mastered how you did high definition videos on YouTube.
Biggest collaboration video?
Look. So I did the biggest collaboration video on YouTube. So I got hundreds of YouTubers to contribute to this video, and it was a massive collab video. And Shay Kyle, the Shaytards and that were involved.
Of all time with over...
What the Buck?
300.
Rafe. Dead Cell. I still game with him from time to time. Laura Bubble. Oh, man. I have so much heart for this woman. Still speak to her. She's amazing. She's really smashed it in the TikTok and comedy space. So proud of her. We were all so young. So young.
Or the time when music became super limited on YouTube in the UK due to licensing laws, where I encourage people...
I love this. I'm not explaining it on the video, but I just want to talk about it in more detail. So this was when YouTube were like, we need to clamp down now on music, people that use music that they shouldn't do. The amount of my old YouTube videos that had to be taken down because, they had copyright music. And it was when they were doing the monetization. So I had an idea called the Music Revolution, and I told people and this is when you could do video responses. I said, what I want you to do is put some headphones on so you can't hear yourself, turn the music loud, and then sing along to the song and record yourself, and then upload it to your YouTube channel as that artist and song name. So when people search for the songs, they don't get the actual songs, they get people's renditions of them, and hundreds of people did it. But this was all the stuff I always used to like doing, these community exercises.
wear headphones, play a song so loud that they couldn't hear themselves, sing along, then upload the video. This in turn filled the YouTube search music video void with,
"Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man.
It's just the price I pay. This is the greatest and best song in the world."
Another project I enjoyed creating was 60 Second September, 30 daily 1-minute videos.
Here we go, the 60-second September, the format that people wanted me to bring back every year, and I never did. And I was asked at the start, is there something I wish I'd done going back? I wish I'd done it yearly, because then there was vlog every day in April, wasn't there? But 60-second September was so difficult because you're like, what am I going to do today? And I did like, they were all just really random videos, but you really did get into the I know the Bee Gees. Okay. Yeah. 60-second September was an absolute joy to do. And
I remember by day 3 thinking, oh no, what have I set myself up for? I'm not going to be able to do this. But the creative juices started flowing, and it worked. From sketches, to music, to serious discussion, I kind of miss it, and wouldn't mind doing it again. Although there have been so many positives, that's not to say there haven't been downsides as well.
yes, Callie, that is where I did the one-word movie comment thing. You're right, that's exactly what it was. I'm just searching for it now. I'm not going to put it on screen because he'll lose the place in this video. I can't keep doing that. 60-second September. Yeah, it's called 60 Movie Reviews in 60 Seconds. And it had 9,000 views. I said it's probably my worst 60-second September, but I've had a pretty bad day, so forgive me. I was challenged to do as many. Yeah. That's it, man. Even I'm remembering stuff. It's all that tickling the brain.
In the trivial sense, there are quite a few postings I look back on with embarrassment, like... or...
I love this. I love that. Oh, I just love that clip.
Been so many positives. That's not to say there haven't been downsides as well. In the trivial sense, there are quite a few postings I look back on with embarrassment, like... or...
I don't care what people say. Peterfire was fucking hilarious. It was. Obviously, it wouldn't go well with my brand now. Well, that's an example of like confidence and insecurity. About 5 years ago, I was terrified of like, I did this channel called Mr. Peterfile, like that's going to be the end of me. But now I'm just like, no, I'm much more comfortable in my skin. Like, yeah, it was a stupid thing to do back then, but it was jokes. I wouldn't do it now. And he was a good drummer. He was a good drummer, yeah. Your reactions are hilarious. And in that, he was doing a condom. And it was when I pissed off a roommate because I basically filled the condom with cream and put it over his door handle. Oh, man. Peter Fole was a nightmare to live with. Oh, that was the Jeremy Cole drinking game. Someone asked about this on Facebook earlier. That was like the first video I'd done on MySpace. Sorry, we're doing it. Look at that. Do you know what? I could try and find the mask. I've got the mask.
Or...
yeah, that was it. The Jeremy Cole drinking game.
Or...
and I met Jeremy Cole when I went to be in the crowd on his show and he interviewed me about the drinking game. That was that video's still up. It's called The Best Worst Video on YouTube, and I did it with Tom Bacon, who produces the RH Experience, and Pete Kapowi. We basically tried to come up with the worst video idea ever, but then we put a load of effort into it. You really want me to find it? Now I understand why you're invited to the wedding. Oh, and probably understand why it was probably best that I couldn't make it.
Outstretched is my mindset and my body begins to free.
Thanks.
So that's another example that I wrote when I was majorly depressed, and NSG invited me over and he says, dude, let's put it into music. And he did 2 songs with me. He did that one, which is called Time is a Healer, which did really well online. And then I got a massive backlash from musicians who were really pissed off it done so well. And they were like, this guy has no talent and this sort of shit. And then it's a cringe song now. And also I can't sing. Like, so yeah, there's that. And then I also did Horizons Expanding, which I was really into. That was really good fun, yeah. Damn, NSG memories.
I'm creating better music now. But do I have...
By the way, that song is not online anymore. It's called Horror Show. And the reason it's not online is it's been remixed and it's appearing on a new release, which may or may not be coming out in the not too distant future. Stay tuned. Schemata Theory. Follow us. On the copyright music topic a few years ago, someone put a copyright claim on a song and created on GarageBand. So a bit generic. That is strange. When I checked... Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Hannah. I mean, they were from the heart, you know? They were from the heart. What is Heavy Metal Farmer? So Heavy Metal Farmer... I didn't actually talk about it on here. Heavy Metal Farmer, if you search it on YouTube, it's had 8.3 million views. And I'm the vocalist on it. I am the heavy metal vocalist. And there is actually a second song that never got released. Hello. Good evening. Welcome. You love that song. Oh, man. Oh, Maz. I remember Maz. Yeah. Depression is a good muse. When I'm happy, I can't write. Well, there's a couple of songs coming out soon. One of them was from the original EP that's been taken offline and been re-released, called New Vision. And the opening line on the song that we did is "Life can hurt much more than death," which is a really dark lyric. But it is just like looking at depression in the face. But the song is hopeful overall, because it then goes, "But each day is a chance to regain dreams our hearts and minds contain." Hey Luke, good to see you here, buddy. Hope you're well. Love your photo. Your Belief. You like that? That's cool. It is old times. There's lots of people tuning in. This is great. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Get us over the 30 line. Yeah, Stickham, we're going through it all now. We're all going through it now. Stickham was the OG. And if you check on my Instagram, you can see a photo there.
Any real regrets?
Okay, if we hit 40 likes, it's not going to happen. I'll get the pedophile mask on.
I think the closest I've come to that was back in the day when YouTube had a front page that they featured content on. If you got picked, you would get hundreds of...
So this is me talking about regrets. I don't know if people remember the drama that happened between me and Charlie is So Cool Like. He was... I mean, I was young, but he was incredibly young. And I'm talking about it on this video as a regret. Do you know what? I'm just going to let it speak for itself. I'm not going to talk for this whole section.
On. If you got picked, you would get hundreds of thousands of views.
Let me go back a bit.
But do I have any real regrets? I think the closest I've come to that was back in the day when YouTube had a front page that they featured content on. If you got picked, you would get hundreds of thousands of views overnight. And many of those people went on to have huge audiences. It could be life-changing, and so naturally, I wanted that opportunity too. But I was young, immature, and shouldn't have felt so bitter about not getting featured back then. But I did, and made a video about it after a new video blogger from the UK got featured, called Charlie Is So Cool Like. Although it was a huge mistake on my part, which led to large amounts of drama within a community I loved, the reason I don't fully regret it was because the knock-on effect was learning from it, maturing, and becoming really good friends with an awesome human being.
Charlie and Myles give blood. Hey! That's a really good song.
Hindsight
I still have that. Actually, no, I've got rid of that hoodie now.
Is a fantastic teacher. I learned that my dry sense of humour and sarcasm doesn't always go down well online, and can sometimes come across as just plain mean. When doing a video about censorship intended to be...
Censorship. Get it? The HMS Censor ship. It was a ship that was so ugly they had to censor it. That was it. that was the video. Oh man. Is it gonna let me?
I'm doing a video about censorship.
Yeah, I love it. Oh man. Back then death was my goal, but YouTube kind of therapy, as dark as it is. Dude, that's it. It's about connection. Because when you go to therapy, and I talk about this on the podcast next Monday with Paul Gilbert, when you go to therapy, it's pretty much the same. Obviously it's tailored to you, but it's still the same setting. Whereas on YouTube, you actually connect with people that might have had an exact same situation as you. You know, all this can change. Yeah, you used to have a front page, used to get featured. Jamie Dolling did it.
Intended to be satirical and ironic. And what about your opinion? Well, you're not going to have a say, because your opinion means nothing. Where I banned comments to prove the point. I lost a lot of subscribers that day. Whoops. However, videos always have the potential to be misunderstood by some.
I get that now, though, because I have such a dry sense of humour with my American friends. I remember my ex from Seattle, she was in my Stickam room once, and I went, "Oh, Brooke, I can't believe you did that. I hate you." And it was a total joke, and she left the room and was like distraught because she thought I was being real. And I was like, oh, shit, I need to learn how to speak to Americans with my dry sense of humour.
You can do what you can to try and minimise those chances, but you will never eliminate them. That is something that has become increasingly evident to me as I've made more and more.
Those who use words like terrorist, evil, or race to explain a horrific act of violence wipe their hands clean of identifying actual root causes and thus preventative measures. Do you know Healthy Gamer GG? He's a great guest. He'd be a great guest on your podcast doing... I do not know of him, but I am writing it down. Healthy Gamer GG. Thanks for the suggestion. Jim Chapman. Who did he go out with? Tonya? I can't remember the group. YouTube drama used to be blown out so proportion, still does, but the community isn't as tight-knit as it used to be. Yeah, when that Charlie thing blew up, I had Blunty, what was his name? The Australian guy. He did a video laying into me, and I woke up to so much hate mail and shit. And I wanted to crawl into a hole. It was fucking horrible.
Videos around active.
It's weird how Tom and I met for an accidental click. Well, you can always take accidents back. You can block him.
And social commentaries. I'd say my biggest strength the past decade has been my continued willingness to experiment with online video across a broad range of subjects, including education, journalism.
See, look at that shaved head. And this was such a big moment for me. I'm probably going to mention it, actually. Jeremy Scale, total hero. Blunty 3000s, that's it.
Activism, music, entertainment.
Look at that. That was when I went into Tesco's during the horse meat scandal.
Charity, politics, and business. But this has also been my weakness. In 2011, I started working for online broadcaster Channel Flip, helping to build it into a YouTube network from 500,000 monthly web views to 50 million.
Yeah, I built Ricky Gervais's YouTube channel. Oh man, there's so much I could talk about here.
18 months. 3 years later, I became employed as a video marketing manager for The Guardian. Here, I pitched and helped develop their most viewed video series of 2015. Comment is free. As a video strategist, my biggest piece of advice for building audiences is to have consistency. Choose one format, style, or objective, and build on that week on week. It can evolve, but people should have a real clear sense.
So Ricky Gervais's YouTube channel already existed, but when he brought back David Brent, I worked on that, yeah. So I actually, to be honest, if you go to his Quality Street music video and you look at the description, you'll see it's written in the same way that I do my own YouTube videos. So yeah. Man, so many comments. Sorry, I am reading them all. So the point I'm making now about not being consistent, this is literally why I'm talking about how grateful I am for you all tuning in today, because I feel like this is the beginning of hopefully a positive future where I'm laying the groundwork for building a channel again, because I'm fighting my emotional inclinations to sort of run and hide
of what they are subscribing to. I never followed my own advice though, because from the very beginning I treated YouTube as an outlet to just be myself, a sporadic creative who likes to keep trying new things. My videos have ranged from the serious to the absurd, from spoken word pieces to travel vlogs, from parodies to interviews, from...
Oh man, so that's Tom Bacon. That was the ridiculous video, and it also had the epic drink time. Do you know what? Have I got it on my computer? I'll load that one up next. I have to download them. Yeah, I've got it. I'm going to play it next. Have I actually got the behind the scenes one? No, I don't.
To speaking about mental well-being, and from music videos to citizen journalism. But as time passed and the more focused I became around serious issues, the less relevant.
Chazza, I really appreciate that. You go, when you look back at this, it's insane how much you've achieved in the last 15 years. What a ride you've been on, bro. So this was at 10 years. And the last 5 years, because of my head injury and a lot of my issues, a lot of my life stopped. And I think it made me feel like, as I was going into my 30s, that I'd fucked things up. Interesting. Do I look similar? Maybe with the hat on. I'll take it off soon. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I hit the wave with YouTube, and I paved the way in a lot of ways, which was great. But it did mean I had all this pressure of, like, I felt like I was losing ground, and I think it was why it was so hard for me to sort of start again, which is what I'm doing with this channel now. So yeah, I appreciate that. I do look back, and I wish that I was still able to. I wish I'd never lost my footing, but things happen for a reason, and this is where we are now.
I was among the mainstream YouTube community. It was a tough pill I never swallowed for many years, and in 2013...
Do you see what's on the screen behind me? It's like a warning, which I wish I'd noticed so I could have closed it before finishing the video, but there we go.
I went through some significant mental paralysis around what to do next, and then I have been dealing with post-concussion syndrome. I received...
That was literally days after my head injury. So that was when I was at Channel Flip. I've been through the story before, and that was me just wanting to get... that was me wanting to get some likes, get some credit out of a terrible situation. But this was a big change in my life. I had about a year of a bit of an identity crisis, and then this just destroyed every aspect of my life, and I've had to rebuild it ever since. I don't know what the warning was.
Head injury. My world fell apart in...
Hey Hayley, hope you're doing well. So it wasn't the ceiling. Basically, behind the toilet is like marble tiles, and in front of the cistern, it hadn't been screwed back in properly. So as I closed the door, it fell, hit me on the head, bounced off, and hit the floor, and destroyed the toilet to pieces. It was lucky it didn't kill me, but it did require like 5 years of recovery, because every part of my life stopped. And then, like, when I went back to YouTube events like Summer in the City, I would say hi to friends who would then say, oh yeah, we speak to my agent. And it's because when you miss out on an event, you're not missing out on 1 year, you're missing out on two, because it's the year leading up to it, and then it's the year after it as well. People are still using the same usernames. My YouTube channel is still youtube.com/Blade376. It's just that I got youtube.com/Myles. And I appreciate that, Matt. I really do appreciate that. Yeah.
In every conceivable way. Work, social life, health, you name it. It all just stopped. Stuck at home recovering, I occasionally tried to post a video to give myself some kind of purpose. But it was tough. And I have to tell you, when you stand still in life, you really get a sense of how fast the world moves without you. Fortunately, I'm much better now, although not fully recovered. but I feel that this is a good opportunity to give my YouTube channel another go. Having left The Guardian, I have now become a freelance video consultant and launched a Patreon account for those of you who want to support me directly.
I make less than that now, so please become a Patreon. Support me so I can get Quest for Empathy up and running more.
I honestly miss being a leader in the mainstream YouTube community. It may have not been...
It's not hard to talk about. It's just, it's really... well, it's not hard to talk about because of, like, emotionally. It's just, it's difficult to know. So people say, like, do you feel yourself again? I'm like, the recovery was so slow and gradual. I don't know what I felt like. I mean, when I get a cold or something, I still get numb around the eye, which was a pressure point. So, yeah, I'm sure there are long-term issues I've had with it. But fortunately, I am a lot better now.
My original intention, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't.
I love this clip with me and Shearer. I mean, I look good there with the long hair, and Shearer's always lovely. Oh man,
love being invited to events around the world, getting.
Oh, that's Smiley D, and she asked to wear the hat.
Recognized and having great conversations
Blake.
with so many people.
That's Stephen.
Now, if I attend these events, I could walk around and blend in with the crowd while watching old friends still enjoying the spotlight. But don't get me wrong, I get it though. It's all about the cycle of a product.
Very true.
But when that product is a human being, it hurts at first. And it's been a huge learning curve for me in life.
Memories.
The world has changed significantly the past 10 years. And I have
ago.
too. I have grown up a lot. The online community with video is no longer one gigantic pyramid that can be viewed all at once, because there are now thousands of them. Subjects once regarded as niche now have significant followings. Video is consumed on multiple platforms, and even the traditional notion of celebrity is breaking down. We are moving towards a decentralized, more networked society. If you are a content creator or are considering becoming one, don't fall for the trap of doing something just because it's popular, because you may look back in years' time wishing that you had done something more in line with your
This is what I was
passions.
talking about at the start.
I'm certainly glad I did. Stay true to yourself and you will get to exist within a community that will be true to you in return. And although I sometimes miss adventures of the past, the way I'm wired, variety is the spice of life. And with old friends I miss, perhaps our paths will cross again someday. Unfortunately, that can't always happen though, with some friends no longer with us in this world, but whose legacy...
That's Ryan, that's who I mentioned. He passed. That's Lisa Nova on the right interviewing us. And that's me. And look, I'm wearing the same shirt in that video. I'm a keeper, Ryan Basillo. But yeah, he died of cancer.
forever remain in video form online.
And that was him very close to the end.
Looking back, I realised the moments I've enjoyed most have been where I've spotted an opportunity and just gone for them wholeheartedly. That's what I must keep doing. Some people miss the way I was 10 years ago, others 5 years ago, and some prefer me now. But if there is one key lesson I've learned from making YouTube videos, it is that each upload represents just a snapshot in time, an idea, a facet of a memory, a digital footprint that collectively will have the biggest possible impact. If I do...
Can I just say that was a really fucking awesome edit that I go with digital footprint as I'm kicking the screen.
Whatever I can to keep running off into the future with passion. I'd like to end this with my all-time favourite comment, which was posted on my first ever video blog.
I love this comment.
Disclaimer, it was posted as a joke many years later, which is why it's so brilliant. Can you imagine if this was posted when I first joined YouTube?
This is fucking genius, Chad Wood. So he was doing it to be ironic. And this is like one of the most important lessons I tell people now.
In 2006. To think if I took notice and became discouraged, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. So if you are a content creator, take my advice. Don't be discouraged. So to those of you that are still with me, thank you so much for your support, because without you, much of this story would have not have been possible. As for those of you that have only recently joined, welcome, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have to say that. And I guess we shall wait and see what the next 10 years has in store for all of us. So on that note...
Adios, people. Adios until next time.
Adios till next time. Adios till next time. Adios till next time.
I fucking love that ending, because you can see how adios till next time evolved. And obviously now, I do say adios till next time sometimes, but I now go love, respect, empathy. That's sort of tagline. We had different people throughout our lives. Some of those people are better than others. Just don't forget who you used to be. Yeah, it's all about the journey. Right, I'm going to go and find the Peter Fowl mask. If you haven't clicked the like button, do it. If we get to 35, I'll wear it. But does everyone remember Epic Mealtime?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this is the outtake. Holy shit. I didn't realise. This is the one I thought, do I still have it? Oh my god. So people thought I didn't drink it. People thought there's no way you actually drunk what you made, and I did, and this is the proof of it. Oh my god. Right, we're not playing this one yet. Let me find the video. Right. Let me just I've got to download it. It's cool though that I've learnt now that I can just drag the video across from a folder to put it on. Is it downloading it? It is indeed. It's going to take a minute. Oh my word. Someone's just liked. Someone just liked me wishing them happy birthday a year ago today. That's hilarious. And it was Kai. Right. How far are we from it being done? Right, it's 20 seconds. 20 seconds. How's everyone doing? Man, this has been a long live stream today, but I'm feeling really, really good. Look, the hair. The hair's there. I feel like maybe I should wear... the YouTube hoodie. Here we go. Right, guys, you ready? This is the epic drink time video.
What's up, Epic Drink Time?
I'm gonna get the Peter Fowl
online
mask.
show where we turn drinking problems into drinking solutions. You want to sort out your fitness, but you love drink so much? Then listen up, because I'm the drink shrink. To start off with, Echo Full Chardonnay Californian wine. As they say, if it's Cali wine and you're not in Cali, then it's shit. Pour it into a shaker. Makes you need to go piss. Now in dedication to our brothers at Epic Mealtime, bacon vodka. One for me, and one for you, and one more for you, and another bacon. Bacon, more bacon vodka. Clean that shit up. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So we're gonna need a ladle. Precision is key. Time to suck it up. To make this drink also fun for the kids, chocolate. Then it's time to shake it like a Polaroid picture. Pour it like BP did on the Gulf of Mexico. Now for the final ingredient. Relentless energy drink. Gives you the resting heart rate of a serial killer. Finish it off with a wedge of bacon. The wine restricts your blood vessels, while the energy drink makes your heart pump faster. Doctor's verdict? It's a damn shame. But that's okay, cause I'm not a pussy. Now to save the animals. Delicious. It's time to clean up. Next time, we drink the blood of Christ.
I made it back in time. Oh, man. Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. So I couldn't find the Peter mask, although I think it might be in the cupboard behind me. But I did find his hat. And I did find what used to be in the background in a lot of my videos. That. And then I mentioned this before. I have loads of these. Let me go full screen. I have loads of these still. I have a whole bag of Stick Aid 2013. So I am going to have to organise that anyone in the live any of you guys that tune in will do a day where I go through this, and we'll organise sending these out to those of you that would like a Stick Aid 2013 t-shirt, and we'll just organise it that, you know, let's say you just send me the postage cost and we'll do that, yeah. And then I'll just send these out to you, because I think that'd be a nice thank you to everyone who's here today. So we'll organise that at some point in the future. Or if you'd rather like just become a patron to support the Quest for Global Empathy, do that, and I can send you one of these as well. You know, we can organise it either way. So yeah, look how many I've got of them. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot in there. So I do want to find the Peter mask. Let's have a look in here 1 second. Do you know what? It's probably a good thing I can't find it. I literally got all these bags of costumes like Frank the Bunny Rabbit and everything. Sorry, it's too hot to wear this now. Right, do you want to see the aftermath of that video where I was drinking that horrible concoction? Do you want to see it? Oh wow, that's awesome. That is going down memory lane. Right, we want to do the video? Do we want to do the video?
What's up, epic drink time?
All right, let's have a look what happened after. I actually can't remember what you can see in this video, so I apologise in advance.
Oh my god!
This is literally as soon as we stop filming that bit. I mean, when you see me doing that, you can see the camera shaking because my brother couldn't stop. Yeah, it might involve being sick.
Stand up.
Do you want to go upstairs?
By the way, it's obvious when I'm sick though, so I'll give you the heads up. I'll pause it before I'm actually sick. I get to a toilet. I always pride myself in that.
Toilet?
No.
I love how serious I look, like I'm doing online show. Next time we drink the blood of Christ, and then it's like,
oh my god! Actually, I don't know. I need to stand up.
Do you want to go upstairs to the toilet?
No.
You gonna stomach it?
That's what? How? That's a lot, isn't it?
It's half a pint of wine.
I can feel it coming. Do I need to film anything else? Just the doctor bit.
Just the doctor bit.
God.
This is the house I'm in now. So the toilet I'm going in, you see there's that light on the right. That was my brother's bedroom. That is the room I'm in now.
It's coming.
So I'm going to be sick probably now.
I've got to drink this if it comes up.
If you don't, I'll let you know when the sickness is over.
Next time we drink the vomit.
Okay, no, right, we've seen enough. We've seen enough. Let's just see what I'm like after.
That'll be.
Oh mate.
That'll be the damn waste. Next time we drink that. Well, you drink that.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway. Did you drink? Did you get drunk? Yeah, I think I felt a little bit. There was a lot in there, though. There was a lot in there. And bacon vodka is horrific. Absolutely horrific. I mean, look, let's have a look at it. Because you can still find it online. By the way, the Heavy Metal Farmer that I did the vocal for, 8 million view. Does he actually have me linked on it still? Wow, he removed me from it. Oh, no, he didn't. Thanks to Myles for the vocals. There we are. Yeah, Funeral for a Friend. Liked it. That's jokes, man. Absolute jokes. What was I looking for? I was looking for... Oh, yeah, bacon vodka. This is it. This is the brand as well that my brother got. It is. Oh. It is. They're still tweeting stuff. Bacon and rosemary flavoured potato vodka. Ugh. Can't think of anything worse. Cool. All right, everybody. I have been on this for 2 hours. I mean, I'm not going to jump off straight away. Oh, Johnny. My friend Johnny just started watching and you're throwing up. Dude, I've been on this for 2 hours and you've picked the right moment, that's for sure. Been going through all the old school. Look at my hair now. It's all so flat. But, yeah. Was that hoodie strings or was it coming out of your nose? Yeah. Anyway, look, so I just want to end by saying that a huge thanks to everyone for tuning in. This has been a nice trip down memory lane. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface. And as I said, if you go on my YouTube channel and youtube.com/Myles, I think anyone can do this. We'll find out now because I'm logged into my band. Sort by oldest. Here we are. So look, so the ones we've got, it's my first ever video blog. Then it was the 24-hour, the meaning of life, considering the weight of existence. And then I've kept a few of these open. I remember this was UK YouTubers, where are you? This is when I was trying to find out who else are YouTubers in the UK. So that was trying to build the UK. Oh, Peter Files on this one. Because he wasn't allowed on the ride. And it was where I was taken all the way up here. And you have to pull the string to release you. Oh, man. That was so good. That was in San Francisco. 10-second exposure. That was literally what became kind of... what was it before TikTok? What was the name of the website where you could do really short videos? That went bust eventually in the end. Oh, I can't remember it. I'm just seeing everyone saying that they enjoyed the show. I'm really, really, really glad. Oh, man, definitely. Well, next week's going to be... oh, Peter Fire, I remember now. Really, really appreciate that. Vine, that was it. So, yeah, Vines... 24 hours. Oh, man, this was me at the Millennium Dome. I found this footage of where you could pretend you're on Sky News, and it was me when I was 12 years old. I mean, we've got similar real estate with the forehead. Now, massive ears. Ears were way ahead of my head. And if you watch it, you'll laugh at the accent. Even when I was on news... And it was just about the Prime Minister responding to me. Oh, that was Anony Girl 1. I wonder what she's up to these days. And Stylist Brighton, I remember. Look at this. Look at that hair, man. Oh, man, I look like such trash. YouTube member. That's what we were called back then. YouTube member. Yeah, it's called the O2 now, but it was called the Millennium Dome initially. Yeah. Oh man, so many trips. Some of these I am going to be privating, definitely. Dead kid equals epic fail. It was about a... Look at that one. Cut off my own finger. What a thumbnail. What a thumbnail. And here we go. 62nd September. And the one that you were asking about was 60 movies in 60 seconds, which was this one. Man, that was 12 years ago. See, this I'll be like, this is halfway through my YouTube thing, but it's 12 years ago. The irony one, this is one of my favourites. This still gets lots of views. This is where Tom Bacon, we went into an old people's home, and I did a quiz to ask them if they knew what words meant, like what LOL means and ROFL, and they would come up with their own suggestions, and FTW. And Fred, who's on the left here, bless him. I think he was blind in one eye and had a stroke. He was on it. He would just shout out stuff randomly and totally get it. Absolute legend. Yeah, man. The human body thing was amazing at the Millennium Dome. Whoa, I missed this. And I wasn't just going to jump to it because she said a nice thing about me. I was just going to read it because of the connection. When I started watching things on YouTube back in the day, massive eye-opener and just a joy to watch. Can't wait for more, mate. That means a lot. Thank you so, so much. Honestly, really, really kind of you. All right, guys, look. I've been on this for 2 hours, 5 minutes now. Last chance to give it a like if you haven't already. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in. We do this every Wednesday. And every Monday at the same time is a new podcast show. Next Monday's podcast, I can't wait for you to see it. And next week I'll have some other news to announce, which I'm really excited about as well. So, yeah, I just want to wish you all a wonderful week. I always enjoy doing these live shows more and more. And, yeah, if you haven't already, I will end on this. I always plug this, but it's one of these things I shouldn't apologise. This is what's important. If you haven't already, head on over to patreon.com/Myles and Rejecto. If you want to tune in to live streams of the Quest for Global Empathy, you get a backstage pass. Founding supporter, you get a shirt. And a quest bearer. But honestly, I think you can put notes in if you become a Patreon. But if any of you get a backstage pass or above, just put that you just message me and say you want a Stick Aid shirt, and I'll get one of them sent out to you as well. I'd happily do that. So, with all that said, oh man, so much love. So much love. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, love you all. All good people. All good people. This is why we're here and this is why we do it. And this is, humble beginnings as we go on a new journey with the Quest for Global Empathy. So have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. And love, respect, empathy. And adios till next time. I should do it on full screen. Adios till next time.